Hey friends, so I'm back today with a vegetarian recipe for you guys, and this recipe is actually very healthy because tofu, also known as bean curd, it's really high in protein, it's low in calorie. Spinach is also very healthy. It's high in iron, high in vitamin E, calcium. So this dish is gonna be really healthy, and I'm fasting today, so I decided to make this. And for those of you who are gonna be fasting for Diwali, this dish is also gonna be good for you. And for vegetarians, even just regular people who just don't feel to eat meat. So this dish is really delicious, and I'm just gonna simmer that spinach into the coconut milk, and then I'm gonna add the tofu at the end. And oh my god, it's so amazing. This is my go-to fasting food. This is what I eat every time I'm fasting, and I just love it. I can't get enough of it. So I'm sure y'all are gonna love it too. So if you want to see how I did this, then keep watching. So here I have 2 packs of firm tofu. So if you can get firm tofu or extra firm, that'll be great, because when you're frying this, it's gonna mash up in the oil if you have the soft tofu. So please try to get the firm one. And I'm using 2 packs of this Sazon Goya. And if you don't want to use this because of the MSG, then I suggest you use maybe a mixture of annatto, paprika, because I think it has all that in it. And I'm using half of an onion here that I'm gonna chop finely. And I have a whole head of garlic here that I'm also gonna chop finely. I also have a half of a habanero pepper. If you don't want to use this, you can use maybe a chili or some cayenne if you want. I also have 4 leaves of bandanya. And if you don't know what bandanya is, it's a Caribbean herb that it's kind of like cilantro. So if you do not have this, you can use cilantro. I also have a big bag of spinach here, and this is going to really melt down, so you need to use a lot of spinach. I also have 1 tablespoon of plain yogurt here, and I have a can of coconut milk. I'm going to use half of this, and I just have some black pepper and some salt, and that's all we're going to need for this, guys. So I have my tofu here, guys. I washed them and dried them, and now I'm going to show you how I'm going to chop them up to fry. So I seasoned my tofu with that sazon, and you see how nice and coated each piece of that tofu is? This is what you want, but you gotta be careful that you don't mash it up. That's why it's important to get the firm or the extra firm one. The harder it is, the better it's gonna be to mix this up into the seasoning. Now I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna fry this. And you can leave it for a while to marinate, or you can fry it right away. So I put my tofu into that hot oil, and it's best if you use a deep pan, because you don't want that oil to pitch up on you when you throw in the tofu in. But if you do use a shallow pan, just please be careful, because it's gonna pitch up. So I'm gonna just leave this for a while. You want it to be really crispy on the outside, and it's gonna shrink. It's gonna become half the size it is now. So that's what you're gonna be looking for. It's gonna take probably about 20 minutes for this to fry well. So I'll show you guys after 20 minutes. So this is how it looks after 20 minutes, but I'm gonna leave it for a while. again because I want it to get a little more crispy on the outside. But do you see how much they reduce in size, guys? This is what you want. This is how it's gonna be. It's gonna get really nice and crispy on the outside. And then we'll take it off. And you also want to have a plate or a bowl or something with some paper towel to absorb all that oil. So in total it's been about 30 minutes now, and my tofu it's fried really well now. It's really crispy on the outside, so I'm gonna turn the fire off, and I'm gonna just put the tofu into my plate that I have here with paper towels. So I'm just gonna put the tofu onto my plate here, onto the paper towel. And you're just gonna let it sit and drain all that oil now until you're ready to use it. So I have my pan on low heat here, and I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon of coconut oil to this. And to this I'm gonna add the onion, the pepper, and the garlic. You want to just stir this and leave it for about 2 minutes to cook up in that oil. So this has been frying for about 2 minutes now. And I'm gonna throw my spinach in there, or bhaji. In Trinidad we call spinach bhaji. So I have my spinach here that I washed, and I let it drain for a while. So I'm gonna throw this in there. And it's probably not gonna fit into the pan all at once, but just try to stack them in there. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of salt now. Some black pepper. And I'm gonna add the half of the can of coconut milk I told you about. So now I'm just gonna cover this and let it simmer on low heat. And you're gonna let it simmer for about 20 minutes, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. So it's been 20 minutes now. I'll just raise the lid and see what's going on there. So you see how the spinach reduced, guys? So now I'm just gonna take my potato masher and I'm just gonna mash this spinach just to kind of soften it up a little more. Now I'm just gonna add about a half of a cup of water to this. So I'm gonna add my half cup of water. And I'm also gonna add that yogurt I told you about. At this point, you also want to add your chopped up bandanya or cilantro. So I'm going to give it a little mash again. And I'm going to add my tofu in there. Do you see how amazing that looks, guys? I love the colors. So I'm gonna cover this now. And I'm just gonna let it reduce a little more, and I'll show you guys it when I take the lid off again. So I actually turned the heat to high since I added the tofu. And now I'm just gonna take the cover off, and I'm just gonna leave it to simmer down. And for some of the liquid to reduce. So I'm just going to leave it to simmer and let that liquid reduce. And you'll see how it looks like when it's done. The recipe today. I hope you try it, and if you haven't subscribed as yet, please hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you guys soon again. Thanks for watching.